Hello everyone, we've made it to week 6, which this week we're talking about technology and mostly a focus on assistive technology. Assistive technology basically helps students meet their IEP goals and also participate in the general education setting. The important thing to remember is that assistive technology can either be a device or it can be a service. And these devices and services are there to help kids increase the amount that they're able to socially communicate, access the general education curriculum, move about school or to and from school. And also it might help them with proper seating and position, which we talked about, especially with mobility disabilities, the importance of having very good posture and safe seating arrangements. And also just in general, assistive technology helps students access the materials. So I was going to have you do the IRIS module, but instead I decided to kind of pull the big pieces from the IRIS module and share those with you. So I like this video, and just to kind of mix things up, I'm going to show you this video that they created on different types of assistive technology.
What I did on summer vacation. This summer I ran away to grow. I went to a little cafe. Auditory, 36.4%, as compared to 27%. This group reported substantially more visual images, 58.6%, and I want to play with blocks. I want to play with coloring books. I want to play with a ball. I want to play.
So assistive technology can be any sort of device, and some are very expensive and some are free, or just anything that you do to maybe adapt a device for a student to help them. This is actually just 1 minute of Penny Reid, Dr. Penny Reid, talking about assistive technology.
I can give you the legal definition, which is any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capability of a child with a disability. And really what that says to us, it's any tool. It's a thing that makes a difference for a child with a disability in doing some kind of a functional task. I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is that it is such a wide range of tools. It's everything from a slant board to a very complex power chair with ONCOM attached to it. Every educator who comes into contact with any students with disabilities, whether they're a general educator or a special educator, need to know what assistive technology is and how it can be used to help students overcome the barriers they face because of their disability. They don't necessarily need to know how to operate it. Someone can teach them that, but if they don't have the vision of what it is and what it can do for a student, then they are not going to fulfill their responsibility to help provide it.
So here are some examples of some low-tech assistive technology devices. So here's one right here, a specialized writing tool, pencil grips, planners, raise-line paper, and a highlighting tape. Assistive technology services are slightly different because those are more around helping the student access the device. So it could be evaluating whether the student needs it, it could be actually getting the district to pay for it in some way, or fitting the student for it, maybe working with the student and the other teachers to provide any sort of training or technical assistance, also with the family on how to use the device and make it useful to the student and help them so that they're able to access the general ed curriculum.
It's mandated by federal law that assistive technology is both devices and services. So we must consider the devices, but then we also must consider the assistive technology services. By services, there are different components in the federal law, including assistive technology evaluation, the purchasing of the equipment or leasing or acquisition of the equipment, the modification of the equipment, any kind of adaptations or setup or modifications that have to be done to the equipment, even a software component. The coordination of those services must be considered. And then the last components deal with training of the child and the child's family, and the training of professionals, the people who work with the student in the school, whether it be a teacher, a paraprofessional, could be someone in the cafeteria if they have to deal with that assistive technology. Anyone who's using the assistive technology, a related service provider, speech-language pathologist, occupational therapist, physical therapist, all of those fall into that training component.
So the important issue here is that on the last page we were looking at assistive technology that was really low tech, such as the pencil grips. The other piece of assistive technology is more high tech. So this would be the AAC devices. This would be the computer programs, use of an iPad, all of these different software programs that they have for students, and the teachers, the paras, the family may need additional training on how to exactly use those so that they're not just paid for or put onto an IEP and then never used. So this is just a study done by the National Assistive Technology Research Institute, where only 40% of the IEPs documented AT services that actually adhered to the federal guidelines. The remaining 60% did not even follow federal guidelines. So there's a very high likelihood that these students using their assistive technology unsuccessfully. One useful thing that we can do in schools is actually put together an assistive technology team or implementation team that makes sure that the implementation of the assistive technology is successful. So some schools actually have a form for this and a plan that includes the contact person who's coordinating it, who else is on the team and what their roles are, what assistive technology devices and services will be used, how it will be used across home, school, and community, and how the teachers, student, and parent will be trained, and also how it will be monitored and evaluated to ensure that it is actually a necessary component of their education. It's really important that at this time, once you have that team, that you actually do get back together and evaluate and make decisions based on the student feedback, the observations, the performance data that you've gained with that student using the assistive technology. So for this next section, you can actually pause the video for these different areas, or you can go to the website as well and take a look. This is on Tips for Teachers, which is page 7. And I like this section because it talks about understanding the student's needs, which we've talked a lot about in class. And, you know, for example, take note whether the assistive technology is isolating the student from his or her peers. It also talks about encouraging assistive technology use. A lot of times students will shy away from the assistive technology because they don't want to look stupid or look different. And so helping everybody in the class be familiarized with the assistive technology and why that certain students may need to use it is a really helpful way to kind of bring down the stigma. Finally, the collaboration and communication, you know, it says to communicate with teachers and families about what's working and what's not working, you know, seek support from the experts in the field, and that those can all be really good techniques for making sure you're supporting your child. Finally, assistive technology is a term used to describe any device or service that increases, maintains, or improves the functional performance of an individual with a disability. It is required by the federal law if the student is deemed to need it by the team, and then the entire team needs to make sure that they are supporting and evaluating, continually supporting and evaluating the child using the assistive technology.
Let's say that a child is a new referral and we're having a meeting about this particular student. We realize that he or she qualifies for special education services. There may be enough background information to say this child definitely needs some assistance with writing. People may have enough information that they can start talking about what could this student possibly use or what could possibly be a solution. But maybe you need to collect more information. And then you go gather that information and you come back and you say, all right, we have that information. Let's try this on a trial basis. We try it on a trial basis. We know who's responsible. We know how they're going to implement it. We know where they're going to implement it. We know who's going to implement it. And we know what data we're going to collect. We'll collect that data. We have that trial. And then we're going to meet back and say, is this an appropriate technology? We're going to have a target date that we're going to have some information on. So we find out this is an appropriate device or not appropriate device. And we can continue. So let's say we get the device. We have the device. It's in place. And it's meeting the student's needs. But that device is not going to meet that student's needs 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So that needs to be reconsidered at every meeting or that annual meeting or any time in between, because the data are going to show you that yes, it's working or no, it's not working.
Another website I wanted to show you on assistive technology and the IP is from Reading Rockets. They do a lot of great up-to-date information on special education. So I tend to encourage students to and teachers to really take a look at this website as well. So once again, they talk about, you know, meeting as a team to try to determine what the child needs, and then some questions. These are some great questions to consider as you're working with your team. And so then, and remember to pause this if you want to take a look at these more, or I'll also have the link on there. And then also, if there's any sort of disagreement with the school about assistive technology, some of the things that parents or you as a teacher can go to as well to get more information.